If you run a detailing business and you are relying on paid advertising to get your clients, but you're having a hard time getting those leads to actually answer the phone, this video is going to break down how to increase your response rate. So we'll break down a few different things. First, we'll break down why this is happening. Then second, we'll break down how to fix it. So we'll jump right into it. First off, the reason this happens is there's two types of leads that you have. You're going to have your cold leads and you're going to have your warm leads. So let's say that you're advertising any sort of high ticket services. Um, Typically, a cold lead is going to come from something like a Facebook ad, like door to door, like door knocking, cold DMs, any type of advertising strategy where the person you're reaching out to doesn't necessarily have interest in what you have to offer initially. Something like a warm lead would be, let's say, Google SEO, Google Ads, referrals. These are all people who already are interested in the service that you have to offer, so they're actively looking for the service. Because of that, it's going to be much easier to close people who are warmer leads. So people who come in from Google SEO, Google Ads, referrals, different things like that. Generally, they're a little bit easier to close because of that. But there are pros and cons to both of them. So we'll kind of break that down a little bit. Now, when it comes to Facebook ads, a couple of the pros, you can reach a lot more people a lot quicker. Therefore, you can grow your business a lot quicker as well. Now, some of the cons, it's harder to close those prospects because they are colder. So they don't necessarily know that they're interested in the service yet. So it's a little bit trickier to close them. You have to nurture those leads more, meaning you have to continuously inform them on your services, the benefits, why they should want it, why they need it. Just really kind of continuously pique their interest as time goes on. And also because of that, you need to have a better sales process in place because you need to make sure that you can get your prospects to sell themselves and your services. You can make sure that they see the value over the price, and you can make sure that you can actually handle those objections in order to get those jobs closed too. So a couple pros and cons between the two. When it comes to even like your warm lead to like Google referrals, different things like that, some of the pros that you'll have is they're easier to close. They're generally already going to be sold on that service and why they want it and why they need it. Like they know they want it. But some of the downsides is it's going to be a much slower growth process just because you're kind of relying on people coming to you instead of you going out and finding them. So it's going to be a little bit slower to grow the business that way. Again, you're waiting for people to come to you instead of you going out and finding them. Because of that, they're coming to you. So a lot of the times they're also shopping around looking for other options, other competition, or other prices and other services as well. So you're going to run into a lot more price shoppers because they're not just reaching out to you, they're reaching out to 3 or 5 other companies. A lot of times, because of that, those leads may be looking for the cheapest price. So you're kind of working with people who want a deal, they want a cheap price, and sometimes it can be a little bit trickier to get people closed or get people to pay a premium service or a premium price for your services. So typically what we want to do is if you're running ads, we want to implement the pros of the warm leads into your Facebook ad strategy. So what I mean by that is you're running ads, so we want to make sure that all of those leads can start to get warmed up, pre-sold, pre-qualified, and nurtured before you get on the phone call with them. So you're running an ad, someone sees an ad. As soon as they see the ad, from there, how can they go through a content strategy that can start to pre-sell them? And then after they fill out the lead form, how can they continuously get pre-sold and nurtured and warmed up over the next, say, 14 to 30 days to eventually sell themselves on the services? And that's kind of what we'll break down and how we'll fix this issue. So the solution, I call it the organic funnel system. This is what I've implemented into my own businesses, multiple different businesses, an automotive paint protection shop, even like my coaching business as well. I always implement this system. So it's broken down into a few different steps. First, very most important thing is building a content foundation. So your content foundation is basically what's going to pre-sell and pre-qualify your audience for you. So content foundation, this consists of turning your Instagram and your Facebook account into a funnel. So you have a content strategy that you put in place that's backed by your sales process, meaning you break down all of the past people who have bought services from you and figure out all of the pain points or selling points that they have in order to move forward with the service. So what are those common pain points, common goals, like the trigger points, the objections that they typically have in order to move forward with the service. And what you do is you write down all of that information and you take that and you create content based off of all of it. So all of the issues, you basically create content talking about the issues and talking about how your service is the solution to fixing that issue. And that's what starts to sell them on you and also the service. And then at the end of those videos, you have call to actions to drive more inbound leads. And this basically just replicates your Instagram account. They go through your content strategy and they funnel down and turn it into an inbound lead. Now, step 2, once you have that foundation in place, then you can actually start running these ads. So when you're running ads, you're going to run generally just a basic lead form ad. You run a lead form ad, people are still going to land on your Instagram account for more information because maybe they're not 100% sold yet. So they're clicking on your account to try and get more information about you, the business, the work quality, the benefits, and everything like that. And if you don't have a good content strategy or content foundation in place, then all those people that land on the account are just going to click right off. So what we want to do is capture those prospects, continue to sell them, pre-qualify them, and make sure that they turn into an inbound lead. And that's where you'll make sure that all of the leads that start to come through into your CRM are pre-sold and they're closer to a warm inbound lead, like a referral, Google, like someone who's gone through your content strategy and they've been pre-sold and nurtured. They already know what they want, why they need it, and like why it's important to them because the content is what sold them, if that makes sense. So step 3, you have the new lead that comes in. So now they'll be a little bit warmer and more sold than they were before without this. But step 4 is this is when we continue the nurture process. So now a lead comes in, you have an auto text that should get sent out to them through High Level. If you don't have High Level, I'll link High Level with the 14-day free trial in the description of this video. It's just the CRM that I highly recommend for everything, where you can organize all of your leads. You have a phone number connected to it, and then you can set up automated text that, like a text sequence that goes out. So as soon as a lead fills out your lead form, then from there you have about a 5-minute YouTube video that starts to inform that lead on you personally, the business, who you are, like what your association is with the business, what services you have to offer, where you're located, what the benefits are of the services, and then you have a call to action. So you want this first video to be very short because, again, these are colder leads. So they don't have a ton of interest in moving forward yet. So if you send them a 15 to 20 minute long video, chance of them watching it is going to be pretty low. So we want very low commitment in the beginning. Send them a video that's 5 minutes long, so that way if they go through and they watch it, now the next video that gets sent to them a couple days later, maybe that one's 7 or 8 minutes long. And eventually we start working them up to watching 15, 20-minute long YouTube videos that are breaking down your services and the benefits and the pros and cons of other services. And that's compatible to someone talking to you about your business, because now they're watching you and they hear you talking about everything in the business, services, the benefits. And that's basically what's starting to sell those prospects even more and get them to a really hot lead. So that way, once they get on the phone with you, they're already sold. Like they already know what they want, why they need it. So you just have to get them to answer those questions and tell you that information in order to close them. So again, to clarify, step 4 is when you send out your first video. So this is when a lead fills out a lead form. You would send a text like, hey, this is so-and-so with so-and-so company. Happy to get you a quote. Someone from our team will contact you shortly. In the meantime, here's a quick 5-minute video that breaks down a little bit more detail about our services, like whatever services it is that you're going to offer. You'll send the video, they'll watch it, and then right away you'll call them. Step 5, again, call the lead in 5 minutes. Now, typically you call them, get them on the phone. They've gone through all this content. They've gone through all like the first lead nurture video. So at that point, they should be warm enough to where if you have a good sales process, you can get them closed and you can get them to answer the call. Now, if people still aren't answering, they have interest. They're just not 100% sold yet. So what we need to do is try and re-spark their interest. And this is where a lot of people lose their prospects. If people aren't answering, they just stop calling them. We want to call them every single day for at least the next 30 days. But while we're calling them, we want to follow up with them through content. Let's think about the ad. The reason somebody filled out an ad or your lead form is because they saw the video of the ad that piqued their interest. So that piqued their interest, but maybe they're not 100% interested yet. So we need to try and re-pique that interest again. And if it worked previously on a video, then most likely if they see another video, it'll re-pique their interest even more. And then if they continue to watch these videos, they're getting more and more interested. So it's a higher chance of them answering the phone the next time you call. So let's say step 6, no response. This is when you start your 30-day nurture sequence. So let's say you sent them the video, day 1, they didn't respond. Okay, day 2. So the next day, now you send them a top of funnel video. So this is again, a long form YouTube video. This one's maybe 7 or 8 minutes long. It's breaking down more information about you and the business and the services you offer, while also building trust and credibility. It's talking about your reputation, your reviews, and why you can, like, why people go with you specifically. Break down all that information that people need to start to see and hear in order to want to move forward. Again, keep in mind you're calling them once a day still at this point. This is an automated sequence that you can start to build out. So let's say it takes you a couple weeks to film these videos, but then from there it's just going to continuously run in the back end and you never have to touch it again. So a couple days go by, day 4, now you're starting to try and build up some trust and some credibility. So now you have a testimonial video of a client who's standing in front of a car that just got worked on, or like whatever service it is, like let's say you're a fitness trainer. It's a client who's talking about their experience, but it's a testimonial video breaking down why they went with you, if they recommend it, what made them go with you in the first place, trying to build up some trust and credibility. Let's say they still don't answer. Okay, day 6, you have a comparison video breaking down the pros and cons. And these are all examples too, but let's say a lot of the clients I work with, they're in the automotive industry, but it's a service-based business, so maybe they're comparing 2 different services. And that's a common objection. Again, this is all backed by your sales process. What are all the objections, the pain points, the goals that your clients are looking for in order to move forward? And these videos are all backed by that. So maybe you have a comparison video comparing 2 services, but you're disqualifying them from the service you don't want to sell them on, and you're qualifying them on the service that they do want to be sold on. And then at the end, you have a call to action to drive more inbound traffic. And this is something that you'll continue to do over the next 30 days. As time goes on, you'll slightly split it up, like make the videos a little bit farther apart, like 4 days in between these 2 videos, and maybe again 2 days. Mix it up a little bit. And then eventually what happens is people will get like warm enough and nurtured enough to where they are interested. So the next time you call, they've watched maybe 3 of your videos and they answer, and now they're a super hot lead and they're sold. And that's how we get these clients as close to one of these warm inbound leads as possible. So that's a bit of a breakdown on that whole system. Now, if you do want help implementing something like this, I do offer a one-on-one coaching program where I teach all of my marketing strategies, whether it's paid advertising, organic marketing. My main thing is basically teaching businesses, service-based business owners, how to make more money without increasing their ad spend. So if you want help with that, if you want help with implementing a high-ticket sales process and building out automations like this, I'll link my Instagram in the description of this video. Just DM me the word GROW to apply for my one-on-one coaching program. Other than that, that's it for this video.